All right, so I want to talk about scammers in trading and how crazy this is and common it is and how much I've seen it. I mean, I've been working on my trading on the side for about like 2-ish years. You know, I've had my ups and downs, and in those ups and downs, I've definitely been doing my research on as far as like kind of if there's any kind of way to get to learn from people, I guess you could say. Um, and it was just coming to my attention, Justin Werlein has been lying. And when I saw his channel, I just knew that he was lying. Uh, and I'll explain why. I mean, usually when it comes to these kinds of people, they are some like, Nepo baby kind of stuff going on where they can like do something to like work at home or something. And they have income from other ways that they can do, and then maybe you can use some for like screenshots, and then they can get affiliate links and things like that, and YouTube money to kind of actually make the income itself. The first thing I want to say though is like the biggest thing that I have learned about trading, and that's kind of where I wanted to put this channel was, and I still might at some point. But there's a couple of reasons why I don't want to. First reason is every time I've been profitable and I start to expand outside as far as like share intel too much or let too many people in my circle, I soon become unprofitable, right? Like, and then I have trouble getting back to being profitable again. So even though that this channel, like Q put, like the name of this channel is in that realm, right? I kind of struggle because like every time, you kind of get like the eye and the czar on you too much. That, as you could say, it's like, that's why I know that when people are trying to flex about their trading, they're lying. Because every time, at least that's my experience, right? And maybe I'm projecting, right? But it's always proven me right. Like people who try and run discords and stuff, and I'm not sure where that comes from, whether or not they have never been able to figure out trading themselves. Because the other thing is too, as I've noticed, is like they seem to be really unknowledgeable. It's like there are things that are going on that I see within like, equities or whatever, and like this never mentioned, and there are some people that are on Twitter and stuff that do well. I think half the thing is too, is like, I'm really busy. Like I work a lot and I am a single dad. So like I can't post about trading right now in any capacity. I have my Twitter, but like even that gets like zero traction. All I do is post charts and some of the photographs I take. Try and keep it like as aesthetic as possible. But when it comes to like actually being profitable in trading, like I'll tell you like something that I have done recently. Because I have like come up hard and then blown so many times in the past couple of years, which has been like psychologically hard, but to be honest, I feel like I'm just starting to get like kind of like the payoff for it. You know what I mean? Because like I still feel like trading is a great way to make money if you're smart, and I don't think that's gonna go away. And there's so much doom on the internet as far as trading is concerned, right? But like I'll give you an example though. It's like I have this chart up here, right? And like this is just like one way. It's like building your own personal charts, right? Building your own trend lines that makes sense, and where you see bounces. That's why it's like someone can share a trend line, right? They can be like, okay, well, the DMA and all this stuff. It's like what I have found is your own personal trend lines. So for instance, it's like if I see like there's an open happen and we don't get back to that, like, but that's all within my math inside of my head, right? That is my personal edge, right? That is my personal edge as far as like, and especially with this chart too, it's like I learned so much from this, but like, and I post these online, but unless you're like really following the story, you can really tell like when I am posting, these types of things, right? Like, unless you know that intimate detail and you're kind of following the story, they really don't really make that much sense to you though. So I guess it's like the first thing though too, is like people posting these chart concepts and stuff. And it's like, yeah, they're half right, but they also have a lot to do with like where you see bounces and things like that. So that's kind of the most important thing too. Like, if you were going to try and make money trading, I would say the first thing is just get free trading view, and then you can like kind of fill out your own narrative about where you think things are going, right? Where you think a big bounce is coming. Like, and if I go out to like I have some longer trend lines going, which have proven like as to be like hard resistance. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got this bad boy right here, and you can really see, you know, and I've never seen charts like that on Twitter, but that's because it's like you have to mess around with it yourself. And that's a hard thing to admit, is like, if you're interested in trading, right? How do you, you know, because we're always looking to other people, because like traders get lonely. Like, I remember when like I was out of college and I was trading, and dude, my friends and I, we were making some cash. It was insane. But none of our friends talk to each other anymore because of how bad like relationships through cash can be. And I think that's like probably because they're millennials too, right? No shade against millennials, but like making money and losing money together in like a business, especially as aggressive trading is super hard and difficult. Like, go watch somebody lose $500,000 and then watch how sour and no one will ever talk to each other again. But you have to learn though, like, money is just like a plaything. Like, that's the only way you survive in trading, is if money is a plaything. You have to be like very elastic. Like, watch yourself go from $3,000 to $700,000 back to zero again, but then you go higher the next time, right? That's where I've come. At least I got to learn these lessons being young, right? Anyways, though, so if the concepts don't help and these people are all full of shit, like, what does help? So like the first thing, like I said, is like figuring out a narrative in yourself, right? Like, you're better off following stuff, making little charts, and being like, okay, you know, like, say like right up here, you know, we got some stuff going on up here, and be like, okay, so wait, dude, once we hit that line, I'm gonna take $5,000 and short it, or put options, QQQ puts, far dated. It's probably going to make at least 50% because that's so overextended. But then you got to wait like a week or 2 weeks to do it. But like, that's like a trade that I would think of. It's like, oh, look at that shit. Like, at some point, it's going to go down. Or it's like, everyone's bearish. Like, right now, everyone's bearish. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, the market's going down. And it's like, oh man, maybe if I wait for a nice weakness within the next 12 hours and then buy like some calls that are in the money 2 weeks out, that'll make some money, right? Pretty interesting stuff. But again, these scammers though, like, you know, I hate that stuff so much. And I hate how too, like, it's like always like evangelical Christians who like go to mega churches and post quotes. Like, I have always disliked those kinds of people, and I'm Christian, right? I feel like I've disliked those kinds of people more than other religions, which is weird, even though they like Jesus, because it just feels so fake and authentic. And, it's very weird, and they always do that too. They always have like, they're always Christian on some evangelical thing and posting their like religious things, and that just like reflects badly upon like other people who are trying to do the right thing or whatever. They're always like, oh gosh, I missed the trade, and I missed, like, you know, thank God, and like, dude, they never actually did it, dude. But here's the thing. Actually, this is a good spiritual lesson. I don't think people are actually rewarded or punished in like that moral sense though. So that's just irritating to me. Like, if people say lie and scam, and they can do that on YouTube, but they have a certain energy, they can get away with it under like how I understand the spiritual universe, you know. It's been a while, you know, kind of like understand. Even like, you know, you have to, here's the thing too, is like, if you have the confidence to post on YouTube and make that cash, then like, you know, or in that time, because it does take a weird time, because I've tried to do it so many times. But yeah, pretty fascinating things. Anyways, so the next thing I want to say is like, so what would be another good trading strategy? So you follow like the things in your mind, right? Like, as far as like you're keeping notes and like understanding the flow. Like if I can even go back to like, you know, like, and like noticing these like this box double top pattern, like, and like you start to notice things and stuff in your mind, but like those things are always changing. The next thing I would say though is cutting losses. This is something that I recently had to have a talk with about myself, because there was a trading era where I lost a lot of the money and whatever, just because, you know, I got personal stuff going on. But let me explain. Where like, okay, sometimes in trading, and I don't even think that this time in particular of trading is in now. We're talking like maybe a couple years ago, but like, you know, you can't look at like, I guess like looking at it, things like money is like infinite or something. Like the better you get about being super realistic with losses, especially for like dated contracts, not like shares, and shares too, I would say though, is like if you can cut stuff that's losing and it hurts, right? But like think about it like this. Especially in something like options trading, right? If you are, like the markets are wild, okay? But like, hear me out. You have to cut your losses, and you have to get really good at that. So other than your personal narrative, is I would get so used to, say you put $1,000 on $1,000 to SPY contracts, it goes negative 9%. You need to sell that shit, which is like a tough thing to do, and you'll probably always struggle with it. And the more that I think about how much I've had to internalize that shit, though, it's like it's tough. But like I'll give you an example. Is like even last week, right? I cut like 3 trades on Thursday just to make money on Friday, and like, but if I would have let those other ones just keep going, I would have like, so say you have $1,000, you cut 10%. That's a great rule, is 10%, not 20%, but 10%, right? You're $900. Then you 10% cut again, $90 or whatever. Okay, so that makes you down to 810, 2 trades. But then the next trade you made 50%. Then you're up $400. Like, or you're up 100%. And that happens all the time with like derivatives and stuff. Your entries will get better because you got to like be kind of callous about shit. Like if it goes against you, close that shit. Cause like think about it the math wise, right? Like throw a bunch of 30% to 400% wins, 30% to 40% wins, right? Now, then think about, just throw a couple 10% losses in there, bro. You're still like beating S&P by like insane margins. And if you become a good trader with like good entries who can read charts well and like can follow the news well and sentiment well, and when to not trade or not to trade, then you're making some serious cash. Does that make sense? So, again, so that strategy though that I've been kind of thinking about myself, I'm just kind of giving you some free alpha here, is like, that is so much a contract thing though too, and especially like liquid contracts where you can have a good edge to get in. Because here's the thing too, it's like you have $20,000 and you're gonna do like QQQ, like that's like my favorite thing to trade, right? The Qs, man, tech stuff, very volatile. Like if you're disciplined enough with that, with like $2,000, like cutting 10% and then letting winners actually run, especially in that, and you date the contracts more than a day, no ODT. You know, because I would do like a 5% loss on ODT, right? So if you would, so those are 2 things I would implement: following the story yourself, and then cutting your losses. And then you can get into that. You can get to like more into like the actual like Greeks and stuff. That will help you like pick the contracts for like your thesis. So you have like your art and then your math, right? Bro, you can make some serious cash, but if you're out here telling people, that's one of the reasons too. Okay, that's one of the reasons why like people who, like I have learned, people who tell you what things to buy, they just tend to be full of it. And I know that like someone might come at me and be like, oh my gosh, you know, like I'll give you like Drippy, the Indian guy, total scammer, and Sadie, I hate that. I hate them so much. Like they just like you have to understand that. So Justin Werlein's a Christian, right? Like, dude, he probably feels horrible, but probably not that bad. But dude, that's Christian guilt. I can't even imagine with the other scammers online. Like, they feel no remorse. Like that. But that's trading itself, though. Like, trading is a zero remorse game. Like, so you can't let that get to your head. Like, there was a long time where I psychologically, but that's part of the process, right? But I'm just trying to save you some time. But like, man, if you sit around and be like, oh, everyone's a scammer, it's like, yeah, 90%, I'd say like 98% of the people in this space. That's why, like, I'm not popular, right? That's why that's why I don't put a lot of effort into it. I don't want to be like those, like, people, like, I don't know. So, but like Drippy and stuff, and it's like, dude, these people, they never were making that much money from trading, ever. They're not that good. Like, they are ruthless in the way of scamming the general population, but they are not like ruthless and cold and sick and like thick-witted to like cut losses and like aggressively trade cues. They're not that cool. You know what I'm saying? But that's okay, because you can be that cool if you do that. But like I said, so think about it. Like, you're going to the charts, like, and you're like entering this stuff, you know what I mean? Like, and I'll show you even why like a 10% move is like so important to cut, though. Like, look at this chart. Like, okay, so say right here, you get kind of caught in the chop here, and you're gonna do puts, and they're dated out here, right? But then once you catch that one that is green, you just let it go, bro. You actually might catch this move. Does that make sense? Like, but if you like get right here, and then you do the puts, and you get, but dude, if you let that go against you, then like, if you let it go against you, you are you're not letting yourself have the good entry, which happens a lot too. Like, and I said, like, I think that maybe in a few years we'll end up seeing how I do this year, because I'm 35, but like, I like what I do for work and stuff. So like, but hear me out. But I might do with this channel. I might get more into trading here in the next couple months. We'll see. It's because I think I have pretty grounded philosophies with this stuff. Yeah. So like, if you enter it wrong and it goes against you, but by the time that actually goes your way, you're gonna be down 30%, and then your contracts will only move 100%, where you could have cut 10% and then made 400%. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it comes into like thinking in abundance, right? And again, I struggle with this too, because we want to be right so bad, and we hate losing money. And then it comes down to the kind of things where maybe your account's too small, maybe your position size is too big, because like, I don't know. I kind of think that, like, if you have a smaller account, and I say smaller account, I mean like not 6 digits. Like, that's what I consider a small account, not 6 digits. You want to aggressively hit that, right? Like, you got 20K, you are cutting all the time and then letting winners run. Think about it. 20K, lose $1,000, lose $500 because you just got stomped out, bro. But if you hit like one of those moves I just saw, you're at 40K, 60K in like a trading day, and they're long-term contracts, right? But you never the way options work, though, is if you're right, it'll move like you're right, and maybe sometimes like this. But dude, if you're wrong, it's just gone. That's the thing. Like, if you're wrong, it goes against you faster than it pays you if you're right, which is horrible. It seems like a scam on that basis, though, right? That like pay like, so like, I know people don't explain that stuff either, though, too. Like, that's a really good concept, right? And I no one explained it to me. It took me thousands of dollars to understand that. Like, thousands of dollars to understand that it hurts you. Like, it goes against you harder than it pays you. The same equal positions, right? If you're slightly wrong, you're gonna lose 40%, but you're only gonna gain 20%. See what I'm saying? That's usually the kind of math that works out. That's why it sucks so bad. That's why you have to cut, because like, even if you even if it comes back, like this is what you'll understand. It's like if it comes back to your entry, you'll still be down 20% because of the time, and because of like now I have to move twice as fast and twice as much to get you back where you're going. That's why you got to cut that. Be smart. But having a longer date does, like a longer dated contract does help that stuff. You know, I've been seeing a lot of stuff too about like all this AI taking jobs and stuff, and I did post about Claude bots and stuff like that, and like, dude, it's actually so insane. I haven't actually put the Claude CLAWD bot on my computer yet because I'm a little scared to. The one that like does all the stuff with the terminal that's like kind of jailbroken or whatever. I'm kind of afraid to do that one, but I have been using the other one, which I still have yet to do with like TradingView and stuff. Like I said, just like kind of busy right now, but like it's kind of insane. It's kind of like really reinvigorated trading for me again, and like the smart kind of trading, because like you can still be smart about trading, especially if your contracts are longer and you cut stuff. Like I said, you're busy full time, but you have 10K extra laying around. If you would kind of think about what I'm saying is like, but okay, you have extra 10K, but you don't like hold shares. That's not a good idea, at least in my sense. Like, don't hold shares, but like kind of sit back and see if you can do some chart and take some fucking swings. And if your swings are wrong, you just cut them. And then all it takes is one good one to be right, and then you're 50% up. But like, what assets right now are even going to pay you that well? You know, like what are you going to do? Buy Bitcoin? What are you going to do? Buy SPY itself? Like, that sounds so dumb. And especially because things can go down right now so hard, and they have been going down. I've been making money on the downside, right? From the 630 point of QQQ. We're not even back to those all-time highs yet. But I mean, like, I'm not like pessimistic though about the prices though. Like, I am really trying to at least, okay, so I guess we covered some things. So let's do a recap about some lessons here that I have learned. So first is like, do your own charting, figure out your own narrative inside of it, try and see where trend lines can happen.